Welcome back to Sideline Shenanigans. It's just me and my buddy Cole today to walk you through some NFL news. Yeah.
Big time.
How
just
you
the
doing?
Two of us. Good, chilling.
Yeah, it's kind of started to slow down, but then the news has started trickling in again. I mean, we still got a lot coming for you guys. We're going to continue our division series, though we're running out of friends. All our friends root for the Patriots or the Bears or the Chiefs or the Bills. Yeah. And then we'll maybe hit you with some draft stuff next week.
Yeah, definitely. And soon we got some fantasy stuff coming up, maybe.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking about some do's and don'ts this morning.
Okay.
So let's kick it off with this NFL rule change proposals that I get maybe 2 out of the 5 of them.
Yeah, honestly, this year they're not all that interesting to me. There's nothing too big. I think the biggest one they kind of slid in at the end in the fifth one. And it was kind of like, oh wait, that's a possibility? Of like all the referees not being there and you guys hiring replacements we've never seen before? Like, that's on the table? So yeah, maybe I'll start there, even though that's number 5. But basically, yeah, so the Referees Association and the NFL are trying to reach a deal on their bargaining agreement right now. And so the NFL's plan, I'm assuming to like hold their leverage so they'll be like, see, we don't even need you, is like, okay, we'll just hire replacements, and then New York will be able to call in whenever they mess up and like change the call.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure if that, like, the clear and obvious review was based off of the referee negotiations, or even if we have the same referees, they're allowed to do the clear and obvious changing.
So from my understanding, it is based... If it's the regular referees, no, that's off the table. It would be a 1-year only deal with the NFL owners that New York is allowed to do that, the NFL, if they have to hire replacement refs for the entire season.
I see it now. Thursday Night Football, Chiefs at Bengals. Mahomes throws a deep pass. PI called. We go down and win it with a 3-point field goal because the clear and obvious mistake gets called and the world hates the Chiefs because the league is rigging it.
I mean, it would be a nightmare all over the board. I'm hoping they threw it in 5th, kind of because it's not real. And like, they threw it into... I don't know, as a move in their bargaining, whatever, but I really hope that's not the case. That would be, that would be like something we've never seen before.
That would be the league is officiating games.
Yes.
That is
by video.
That's terrible. I mean, refs make mistakes, but I'd rather sit there on the couch and be like, oh, that was so obvious and they missed it, than being like, wait, did the league just mess with this game?
And at least these refs we're familiar with. You know what I mean? Like, they're pretty famous. Like, we know, their faces so well. So, I don't know. Hopefully that's not the case. But that, to me, is by far the most, altering the fans' viewing of the game. That would be pretty crazy.
And we both hate it, to be clear.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't happen.
My take on the refs, though, is I am totally for this becoming these guys' full-time jobs. It'd be great if the refs could spend some time watching film during the week, like maybe doing professional development, learning how to call things better. I'm fine with this being these guys' full-time job from September to the Super Bowl.
NFL's got enough money, why not? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they're like us. We're part-time coaches, they're part-time refs. Like, they're just one of the boys.
Come on, NFL, get it done. Let's not have somebody's dad reffing these games out there.
I did see most of the rule changes were about kicking.
Yeah, so there's 3 kicking ones. The first one about onside kicks, it doesn't change much in my opinion because you still have to declare it, but you don't have to be losing. So you could be tied or winning the game, and just decide to do an onside kick whenever you want.
I would love that if you didn't have to declare.
Yeah, I get you. You have to change the kicking rule in general back to the way it used to be if you want to get rid of that. That's the issue, just because of the alignment of everything. Which is what some of these other rules are about. The most confusing one is they want to switch... Let me pull it up. They want to switch the number of people that have to be on the... Okay, now I lost it.
Holding for producers.
Holding, Jesus.
No, you're
okay.
Good.
Oh, yeah. So this is the most confusing rule change. They want to reduce the number from 6 to 5 of the players required to be on the restraining line. But the reason they want to do that is actually because they want to put 4 in the setup zone instead of 3. So if you can picture how the kickoff usually works, there's 3 people, or there's 2 people and then the guy catching it, and then everyone else is on the line, basically.
Yeah.
So that'll change so that, I think the idea, based on what I read, is it'll be easier to return the ball when it is kicked inbounds, but I don't know. I just feel like, it just feels like something is wrong with the kickoff still, and this isn't the fix.
This is not it.
Yeah, this is like, it just feels like we're pulling hairs on where these guys are allowed to stand, but everything's basically staying the same as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, the last 2 preseasons, people basically have only watched it to watch these kickoff modifications. It feels like every year now, there's some sort of kickoff they're testing in the preseason.
I don't think this will even look different, though.
Yeah, I don't
honest.
think it'll look different. Going back to the other one, I think, again, there is something wrong with the kickoff, and whatever it is, we're not sure. But a huge problem I have with the kickoff is the format it is now, you have to declare an onside kick. I think that's a problem. Anyone who doesn't, go and watch the SEC championship from this year when Georgia was up and onside kicked it successfully, and they didn't have to declare it. And it was a top 10 moment in college football this year. Like, imagine if that was a tool that NFL coaches had access to, that they could just onside kick whenever.
Totally. I think as we keep going, like, we're going to see the kickoff evolve over the next decade. I think they're going to keep trying things.
It's going to change every year.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to change slightly every year. I mean, I like where they're going with, like, you don't have to be losing. I like coaches' freedom. Like, I don't think there should be restrictions. So I'm with you on that. Like, I agree. It would be more fun if you didn't have to declare it. But also then the overall kickoff can't operate at all like it currently is.
I also think it was pretty easy to return the ball this year if you had a good special teams. I think this is going to be a huge advantage to people who have great special teams. I'm thinking the Seahawks right now.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. Which is good. I mean, I think football teams should be good in 3 phases of the game. Like, yeah, I like that too. The third rule is, it basically is just eliminating this loophole where you usually kick off from the 35-yard line. But if you get a penalty on the celebration of your touchdown or whatever, and you end up, or if the other team gives a penalty and you end up kicking off from the 50, you get incentivized to just kick it out of bounds and take the penalty. Yeah, it's basically just eliminating this loophole.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. But again, it's like, we shouldn't have to be doing, like, something's wrong if we're, like, implementing these loophole rules, and it's getting more and more confusing. And I think, like,
yeah, my take is we don't want all these kicking rules. We want 4-point field goals past the 60 for a 60-yarder.
Exactly. That's kind of what I mean. Like, none of these rules are really all that interesting. Except, so this is the fourth one on their list, but I guess the final one we'll talk about. Actually, then I got the teams ones too. But New York is now allowed to call in if a play is missed where there was either a flagrant or a non-football penalty that would result in a disqualification. But they have to call in before the next play.
So this would be like Spitgate. This would be like...
Yes, 100%. Spitgate, something the refs don't see. Yeah, exactly. I do think it's including flagrant. So I do think, like, targeting or something, like, I think they could do that too if the refs were to miss it.
A gun celebration, like when they do the
Totally. I don't know. I don't hate it. I don't think it'll come up too much. Like, I see why they want to do it. I'm kind of like, we're going to get stuck in this no man's land of, like, what is New York allowed to call? Yes. And when can they and when aren't they allowed to? I do want it to be, like, made clear as possible as we move forward with it. Like, or at some point just, like, are we going to get to the point where New York is just calling everything by video? And if that's the case, like, let's get there. You know what I mean? I don't know.
But I definitely don't want that as a fan. And I think going off what you're saying, if this is going to happen, I want a clear list of what they're allowed to call in for. Because God knows some person in New York's going to be like, well, roughing the passer could be flagrant. And then, like, call in for roughing the pass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just feel like it's a slippery slope. That's sort of my take with all of these in general, is it does feel a little meddly, the rules. Like, and I don't love that.
And then it's going to start to be, fans are going to get so used to it. You're going to see a pass interference. And you're like, New York's got to call it. Like, everyone's going to start to want that. And you're seeing it in the MLB this year with now you can challenge. But, like, there's going to be so much as video and technology. We'll see. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it just feels
chips
a little,
in the ball too. Yeah,
and they barely even used it. There'd be some like controversial fourth down, and they're not even chipping it.
That was the stupidest thing we ever saw. Yeah, and you can't even tell. It doesn't even help them spot it because it's still just based off. 70-year-old ref spot. Anyway, so it's
I don't even care if you have the chip in the ball. I just wish you used it. That makes sense to me. It's this set of rules just feels meddly. I just keep going back to that. Just meddly.
Yeah. We gotta put a chip in everyone's knee pad too, so you can connect where the ball is and where the
when
knee
your knee
is
went down.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh God,
knee pad chips. Let's start a business.
I think human error is part of football. That's my take.
Yeah, totally. I agree. All sports.
Yeah.
All right. So then there's 2 team proposals for rules. I'll start with the boring one, and I guess the Steelers wanted more time with their free agents, but during legal tampering, they want longer meetings and more meetings with free agents. It's like 60-minute meetings with at least 5 free agents or something.
Sure, more.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I don't care at all. Do your Zoom meetings. Yeah,
it's happening secretly anyway, so just do it. Exactly.
And then the interesting one that there's a lot of debate out there is our beloved Browns.
I knew this was
They want to trade 5 picks in the future instead of just 3.
Oh God, this is like the kid in the back of the class who doesn't do his homework. Is like, I have an idea. I think it. I've heard this take, so this is definitely a copycat take. I do trust it less coming from the Browns. Yeah, it's like, exactly. I don't really trust your front office. So some guy in the back being like, "What if we could trade all the picks?" It doesn't. Yeah, I trust it less coming from the Browns, and that does feel very NBA, which I know is what you said to me the other day. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, like I said, I'm kind of pro, like, give the GMs and the coaches freedom to make those crazy decisions, right? Do an onside kick at halftime. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I like stuff like that, so, like, I kind of like giving them that freedom, but I do understand, like, there would be a much bigger divide in the good teams and the bad teams. Yeah. It would happen fast. They would stay bad. It would be so much harder to get good. Like, it would be a disaster, I think.
If that happens, does Howie Roseman, Brett Veach, Les Snead, John Schneider, all these great GMs, do they get such an advantage? Like, because they can maybe fleece the bad teams, send the player for like 3 first? It's just, is it changing the market? I think if you have a good GM, this would be good. I just think it might, like you're saying, lead to more like bottom top.
Yeah. You gotta protect teams from themselves, like a lot of people have been saying. And yeah, I do think, I mean, you're getting paid millions of dollars to make these decisions. Like, if you want to trade 5 picks, I think you should be able to, kind of.
And then if you lose your job, you lose your job.
Right. I mean, but that is where it gets complicated because GMs sometimes are on the hot seat, and if you're on the hot seat, you do crazy things. So
and trade all the teams first.
It probably is worse for fan experience overall, honestly. I kind of hope it does get voted down, actually, the more I talk about it. But
yeah. My hypothetical question that we've gone back and forth on this pod about it, I'm convinced Joe Burrow's not finishing as a Bengal. And as soon as maybe 2027, he could be on another team. How many first is Joe Burrow worth if you're the Vikings or the Rams? Those would probably be my 2 top landing spots for him.
Yeah. It's tough. If he gets hurt this year, a first-round pick, like, I'm out on Joe Burrow if he gets hurt this year. I'm sorry. 5 years in a row, missing the playoffs, injured every year. Like, no, this is it. But if he makes it through the season, has a good year, and makes the playoffs, yeah. 5. 4? I don't know, yeah. You see some guys going for 2. I guess Crosby getting turned away at 2 is maybe that lowers it a little bit, but yeah, 4, maybe.
Yeah, I think 4.
I don't know. He's kind of untradeable. Like, it would have to get really sour.
I mean, I don't know if after Patrick and Josh and then like the young quarterbacks on their rookie contracts, the untradeable list gets small in my opinion. Like take out people on their rookie contracts because that's different. But yeah. I don't know.
Joe Burrow's on that list for me. Absolutely.
I think right now.
I think you're right. I think it's like 4 people long, but he's like
just
one of the
Josh,
4.
Lamar, Pat, and Burrow. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair for taking off guys on the rookie contracts.
Yeah, I know you're out on him, but maybe Herbert. Like, why would you trade Justin Herbert? It wouldn't make any sense. You know what I mean?
Because your ceiling is a wild card loss.
But that's kind of Lamar's ceiling too. Like, I don't know. Like, it's not easy to win. I don't know.
Hey, Lamar has lost in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, that's fair, but almost his ceiling. Yeah.
Before we got a ton of wide receiver stuff to talk about, so let's save that. Did you watch any of the Fanatics flag football disaster?
Saw my boy out there a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, it wasn't not much of a disaster for Brady. I thought he played pretty well. His one juke there and then touchdown to Diggs, that was pretty hype.
That was the best play by an NFL player all afternoon, which is sad. These are the scores. Brady's team lost 43-16.
Well, the scores aren't good. Yeah.
And Burrow's team lost 39-16.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oof. We actually both have coached flag football. And we are huge NFL fans. So I definitely think we're uniquely qualified to say that these are 2 different games. But at the end of the day, it's still throwing and catching a ball. I do think the USA flag team definitely showed that, like, trick plays, doing the dips, and, like, the sliding around. Like, they have the advantage with that because the tactics of flag football are a little different, even if the skeleton's the same.
Absolutely. I think the story of it, more so than, like, the NFL players barely knew the rules. It was embarrassing. It was a different game and they weren't prepared. And I think part of that is it's their off season. You know what I mean? Like,
this was vacation for them. This is
kind of a vacation, yes. Our boy Kevin Wildes, beloved Patriots fan, loved in New England, loved in Kansas City. He said it best. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Team USA, now they're going to the Olympics, basically, like those guys. I think it's basically decided, no NFL players are doing this. Like, I don't know. Yeah. They earned it, and that's what they needed to do. And so they were playing with he was crying at the end of it in his interview.
It was nice.
The NFL players were making a little check, hanging out with Brady, like throwing the football around. Like, that's the vibe I got 100%.
100%. Wilds on First Things First also pointed out that all the NFL players are looking at their wristbands. I don't know if Tom Brady ever looked at the wristband his whole NFL career. Like,
yeah, exactly. Every now and then.
Yeah, like I never see like Mahomes or Josh like look at the wrist. It's like clearly they didn't know the game as much as everyone else. I agree. I think 2028's decided. We're on First Things First. So Nick Wright reported the other day that Mahomes never had interest in going. And I assume that Josh and Lamar and Joe, that whole generation of quarterbacks probably feels the same way. Like, I'm going to be 31, 32. Why would I risk an injury at the Olympics? When also, do we need the NFL players? We're going to beat any country in flag football with Team USA.
I mean, when Brady was asked, he was like, I would do it, but I think I'm going to leave it up to Mahomes and Allen. But if they don't want it, maybe he would play a couple snaps.
I think it should. If it was going to be NFL players, Mahomes and Josh should be my first 2 picks.
Absolutely, yeah.
If we're going younger, I'd love to see Drake and Caleb do it, but also...
That'd be fun, too.
Yeah.
I'd be stressed. I wouldn't want Drake to go. Like, what if? God forbid. Yeah.
I mean, you saw the Burrow clip, I'm sure, where he, it looked like he literally could have torn his ACL.
Yeah, literally.
If I was Burrow, a GM watching that, let's call it a spectacle, I would have been a little nervous. Been like, wow, my players are really putting their body on the line. I mean, there's all these things in NFL players' contracts that they really can't do contact activities or, risky activities outside of football. And I do think the NFL owners meeting is going to address this. I think they're not going to be able to play.
Totally.
Let's get into some wide receiver shit. The market's crazy right now. Let's talk about the Jalen Waddle trade, my least favorite move of the offseason. But also maybe I like it because it was an overpay. A first, a third, and switching fourth. So really a first and a third for Jalen Waddle to go to the Broncos.
Yeah. I agree. It's a bit of an overpay. It's kind of funny they didn't make any moves in free agency and then give up so much capital for one guy. I do think it makes their offense like a lot more dynamic and better and can help Bo look better. And if that defense stays as good as it is, like it's a win now move. And maybe their window is smaller than we think, or like Sean Payton is like, I really need to win now, and he's a little nervous about his seat going forward with Bo. I don't know what it is exactly, but it's a win now move. I mean, they're expecting to be very good this year based on this trade.
Where do you rank Jalen Waddle? He does not break my top 10 receivers, I don't think.
Yeah, I think that's tough.
Top 15.
Just when you're not on a winning team, it's like... Yeah, I don't know. You don't talk about guys when they're not on a winning team. Like, even we didn't really talk about Justin Jefferson this year at all. Like, yeah. I think we haven't seen him win games or be in the playoffs or like. I do think if he comes in and they're the 1 seed again and he's their top receiver, I think he's gonna be viewed as a top 10 guy.
Would you rather have like a Pickens or a Jalen Waddle? Take the off-field shenanigans and all that out of it, because I know Waddle's probably a better team guy than Pickens.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can't take all that out of it.
So you'd rather have Waddle than Pickens?
I'd rather have Waddle than Pickens, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think they hover somewhere between that 10 to 15 range. Yeah, I definitely think it's an overpay. It shows to me that they at least believe that Bo will be healthy and have a lot of belief in Bo. I don't have a lot of belief in Bo, but I do think a true wide receiver 1 can elevate a top 20 quarterback to look like a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah.
So
totally.
I think this affects the AJ Brown market.
Yeah, but in what way? I think it. Okay, yeah. Give me your take.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of AJ Brown because of the off-field antics. I think it's been 2 years since we've seen him have a sensational season. I think last year was down, and even the year they won the Super Bowl, it was a little down. But I don't value A.J. Brown a lot, but I know that the market values A.J. Brown more than Jalen Waddle.
So I think 2 things are in play with A.J. Brown. I don't disagree that the trade value of A.J. Brown maybe... I think it more is like, yeah, see? A first and a third. Like, that's what the market is, kind of. Switching force, I don't know. Maybe it's a first and a second. It's still the same thing. It's a first and something big. But the thing that I think actually makes him harder to trade for is the JSN contract. Because now A.J. Brown is a cheap receiver
who's
with
a
his
top
contract
10
that
receiver.
you're inheriting. That's a top 10 receiver in the league. So, like, having him on your roster and keeping the cap low is pretty valuable. And so how does that make him, like... Are the Eagles like, shoot, we paid this guy at the right time. Why are we just selling him to another team with this great contract now? I mean, I don't know. It makes me more excited. If we can get him, I'll really love the contract. But I agree. I think it's closer to maybe a first and a second.
John Middlecoff and Colin Cowherd have been reporting since the Combine that the Eagles at the Combine spoke to many people about how A.J. Brown was not the problem. That the locker room loves A.J. Brown, and there's actually a disconnection from Hurts in the locker room. So I think it's a real possibility that A.J. Brown is an Eagle next year and Hurts is not in 2027 if it's a disastrous year again. It seems that everything that came out of the Combine is Howie likes A.J., Sirianni likes A.J., the locker room likes A.J. It's that the locker room maybe doesn't like Hurts, and A.J. sort of puts voice to that.
Yeah. Totally.
So does that... I mean...
I don't know. I think A.J. Brown doesn't want to be with the Eagles. I think they're trading him this year still. I think everyone was like, the deal's done, it's happening in June, and then they really had to reel it back, and they were like, Schefter, report that there's no deal. You know what I mean? So then he came and was like, no, there's absolutely no deal. I think June 2nd, A.J. Brown's a Patriot. I think I'm fine with us giving up our first and our second round pick for A.J. Brown. I think it makes our team that much better.
But would you want one of the picks to be 2027, not 2026? Or are you okay with both?
Yeah, I would prefer that, absolutely.
Yeah.
Second in 2027.
And the first this year. I mean, and then if
or both this year. Our pick is... Like, our pick ain't getting any worse. Or, yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm telling you, there's edges you can get in the first and second round this year, though. This is a better edge class than maybe next year's class.
But, like, I know, even as though I think we're going to win the Super Bowl, it's like, it's also likely we have a worse year than we did this year, just because it was so good, and we have a much better pick in 2027 in the first and the second rounds. Like, these picks suck. I'm fine with trading these picks. Like, the 31st and the 60 whatever. Like, I don't know. That's fine with me.
Do you think it might not be a first and a second, maybe it's a first, a third, and something like a first, a third, a fourth, a first and two thirds?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I think it's a lot to give up for A.J. Brown, and I think it's a lot to give up for Waddle. I don't... Both of those would make me nervous as a front office, giving up that much draft capital. I mean, I think it's a real possibility the Broncos are a lot worse next year, and then all of a sudden they don't have, the picks to help restock it.
Totally. Yeah, I agree. I think it's a risk, but I don't love our receiver room without a true one starting the year. And I think you kind of said it. Like, I think A.J. Brown for the past 2 years, we haven't really seen A.J. Brown. There is a disconnect with him and Hurts. And, like, there is issues. And, like, he's not playing his hardest. He's not bought in as much as he could be. Like,
that's true.
And he's not getting the ball as much as he wants it. Like, I do think he comes in with Vrabes, his old guy, who he's talked about a lot, like... I think he's going to work hard as a Patriot. I think you could see the, like, Stephon Diggs effect where it's like all of a sudden this troubled guy comes in. It's like, oh, man, he's amazing.
And I think Drake's a little more with the locker room than Hurts is, so I think that would help. Mm-hmm. I think a big concern would be if you're the Eagles and you trade A.J. Brown and then Hurts still has a down year and the locker room's still disconnected from Hurts, then the Eagles kind of have to take a huge step back and be like, what's the plan?
Totally. Yeah.
Staying in the wide receiver world, JSN contract. Now the highest paid wide receiver. You like it?
Yeah. Gotta. Yeah, definitely.
I like it because of how team-friendly Darnold's deal is.
Yeah. True. I mean, I think you gotta... It's nice if you drafted an amazing receiver, like, then you can pay him and not give up any capital to get him. Like, I think you obviously have to pay JSN. Yeah. It is crazy. Like, it's borderline quarterback. It's borderline star quarterback money for receivers.
He's making about the same as Mahomes makes.
Yeah, exactly. So it's in that mid 40 tier, and you're like, wow, I'm paying 2 quarterbacks. Yeah.
Well, that's why I like it for the Seahawks because of Darnold's contract. I think the way their team is built, they couldn't pay a top market quarterback and a top market wide receiver. That defense is all about they have to get paid in the next 2 years. They don't want to turn into the Bengals. I imagine Sam Darnold stays on a team-friendly deal and helps that. I like it a lot because of this situation. And I think he's a top 3 receiver right now.
And I do think, that's why the salary cap goes up every year. Like, I do think it's fine to pay one guy, if he is amazing, insane money. Like, work around it. That should be, like, kind of built in now. You need one dynamic playmaker that's amazing, honestly. It can be at tight end. It can be at wide receiver. Maybe you pay Saquon $20 million. But, like, you need one playmaker that's, like, you're overpaying. And I think that just needs to be expected for, like, elite teams, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I think that over the last week, the wide receiver market is so stock up. I'm now okay with the Chiefs drafting a wide receiver at 9 to help compete with that. I also...
Totally.
I got thoughts about Puka before we go because, there's a lot of reports for... Like, the Eagles are hesitant to pay Jalen Carter. I'm a Georgia fan. I remember when that accident happened and it killed the graduate student. And now there's more character concerns that maybe aren't coming out. The Eagles are nervous to pay Jalen Carter. Makes sense. Across the U.S., it seems that there's reports that the Rams might be nervous to pay Puka. And I know that Puka's amazing, but at this point, I'm definitely worried about the character concerns as well and making him now the highest paid wide receiver. What do you think of that?
Yeah, big time. Puka makes me nervous. Puka makes me nervous because you have, like, one more year with Stafford.
Yeah.
Right? And then you have no idea what your quarterback situation is, too. So, like... Could be the Vikings and the Justin Jefferson contract where it kind of looks silly. They kind of look silly fucking up at quarterback so bad. Like, I agree. You can't give Puka with everything that's been happening, your future at quarterback kind of unknown, this, like, 4-year, like, borderline $200 million contract that, like...
Yeah.
I agree. I don't love that.
I also don't know if I see Les Snead and Sean McVay doing that.
Same. But then what happens? I guess that's the question. Yeah.
I mean, JSN just got paid. They're the same draft class. He can play this year on this contract. Do I think he will? I don't know. I know he said anti-Semitic things. We know he goes on these streams. We know he got drunk during the Super Bowl and shit.
Someone just
all
fired
the
a
Seahawks.
restraining order against him.
Yeah,
You've
it's
seen that
like
thing?
yeah. And the bite marks do look fake in that photo, but I think something happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I could pay any guy with character concerns top of the market, you know, and I know wide receivers are divas. Like, Jamar Chase is a diva, but he's not. There's a difference between being a diva and, like, actual real character concerns.
Totally.
I could see, you know, there's 3 great wide receivers at the top of this draft. You got Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lemon, and Jordan Tyson. If one of those 3 falls to the Falcons pick that the Rams have, that's around pick 13, I expect one of them to be there, if not 2. I could see the Rams taking a wide receiver and being okay with letting Puka walk.
Totally. I mean, I could see them doing it, but, like, just then you say let Puka walk. That does sound insane. I would rather, like, sign and trade or something, like...
They got Devontae this year.
But just letting a guy of that caliber walk is like, that's Bengals territory. Like, that would be embarrassing for Sean McVay to draft that guy and then let that out the door for nothing.
But
unless you just think he has no trade value. Like, no, you'd still get a first.
Then trade him this year before you have to pay him. Trade him.
That's what I mean. You can't let him walk, but I don't mind moving off him.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's with Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter has potential to be the next Chris Jones, the next best nose tackle in the league, right? But, you know, Chris Jones, we paid him because he didn't kill anyone. Like, I understand these character concerns holding back these contracts.
Totally. I just think you have to get something back.
On Puka?
Yeah, you hit in the 5th round or whatever it was. Go get 2 firsts for him, you know what I mean? Or a first and something else. Like, it does have that kind of value. That would be... I would, like, forever think differently about Sean McVay if they let him walk, to be honest.
Or there's just some shit we don't even know about.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. But even still, win and let him go. Like, I don't know.
Trade Puka now, then. Try and get to the top of the draft next year. Like, imagine Sean McVay with Arch Manning. He'll probably look a lot better than he does right now.
Yeah. Totally.
So, no, I like that.
Yeah.
Anything else on our news front?
I think that's all our news for now.
Yeah, thanks for watching. We want to be your home for the off-season. We got stuff every week. It's our spring break from the school we work at, so we're here, we're digging into the draft, we're digging into the news, and stay with us.
Yeah. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for joining. Have a good one. Peace.